So I'm Anthony Christopher. I'm here today with Councilman Dave Nellans, who's gracious enough to join me. We're doing just a recap, and I think
and kind of a meet and greet here.
Yeah, and
of what's going on new in Munster.
What's exactly, and I can't think of anything newer than the South Shore line.
Absolutely, we got the Monon corridor here.
Yeah. So Dave, this was a long project.
Yes, it was.
12 years.
We started with it around 2015.
Okay.
And Munster contributed money towards this project, and it's very exciting to have it here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of interesting too that when they read the names off, you have the Munster Gate, you have the Hammond Gateway, the 173rd parking lot and station there, and then you have the Munster Ridge and the Munster Dyer.
Yeah. So we get two of the stops here, and the connectivity. We were at the ribbon cutting.
Yes.
And that was a great spectacle. And I pulled up and I said, "What is going on here today?" You know, I went on behalf of the chamber, and I was gracious enough to be able to get invited. And I said, "What are all these people here for this ribbon cutting?" And Governor Braun was there, and they talked about how it is just such a momentous occasion that all these politics, local and at the statewide, came together for this.
Mayor McDermott was there, and I want to just say that he did a dynamic speech.
Yes.
A lot of enthusiasm.
Yes.
So it was good. They had a nice setup with the tent and the stage and the podium.
Yep.
So that was very good.
We survived the tornado, right? Lightning struck the area, so we got to really see all the amenities of the new station there.
But they kept us all safe.
Yes.
And then we got to take the ride.
Yeah, we were on the first ride, and we boarded at the Hammond Gateway. We made our way to here, where we were greeted by numerous guests. It was a packed platform. People were just excited for the day, excited to see this in motion.
And when I was on the train, I sat in a seat that was open next to a young gentleman, and he actually was from Chicago.
Okay.
I got talking with him and some of the other young folks there, and found out he was 16. And he came down because he likes trains. He's got family in this area. He wanted to check out and see what it was all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was good.
What do you think it means for Munster to have this?
Well, it means a lot of economic growth. We've got housing right here, and a lot of folks that are here do work in Chicago. They were real excited about the train coming. Plus, they bought lots and property anticipating the train coming, and it's here.
Sure.
It's here. What we promised is there, and the other day I was on the train coming back from Chicago with my grandchildren, and a professional fella got off and came along with us down on the shuttle, got off here, and then went and walked right into the community estates.
Yes.
So I'm going to assume he has a house there, which this is perfect.
Yep, I know friends I grew up with, I can see their house right here. So the day that we came and I took some pictures of the background, they said, "Oh, that's my house, that's my yard." So, and John takes the train into work.
Okay,
so they're
sure,
very
it's
excited.
a perfect arrangement.
Yeah.
And they've added some plantings and trees and things around here, so they're going to soften the look.
Okay.
And really, these trains are quiet.
Yeah.
They don't blow the horns because we have it set up as long as it's a safe running.
Right.
If somebody gets on the track or there's an animal or something, they may in fact blow the horn.
Of course.
They've got the right to do that, but it's quiet. It rides smooth. It starts smooth.
Yeah. And that was something that Munster took residents' concerns into consideration, and you guys said, "Hey, we want this a quiet zone," and you had to apply for that.
We had to apply, and we got it. So did Hammond.
Yeah.
And it just makes it better. And it's the opportunity, in the morning there's 4 express trains that leave here that go to Chicago.
Yes.
And then they come back in the evening. But during the middle of the day, there's 2-car train shuttles people back and forth from here, from the Munster Dyer up to the Hammond Gateway.
And the Munster Dyer, we're standing inside one of the platforms here. The Ridge Road is a smaller scale. That's just a small 2-door open up, and it kind of just shoots you down there.
Yeah, and basically it's a kiss and ride. It's really intended for that. But it's been embraced by the residents. And
the parking lots have been full. Yeah.
And here you've got a regular main parking lot that's some 500-600 cars.
700 here.
700.
It's the largest South Shore lot.
There's a lot just on the south end that's primarily handicap and kiss and ride parking, and also other parking. But it's we've got things covered.
Yeah.
it's a nice arrangement. It's a nice facility.
Yeah. And so on this end of town, we're developed. There's some vacant lots here, but these are single family homes.
Yes.
But let's talk development. Let's go back to Ridge Road. And this week the town hosted the community, and we talked about reimagining Ridge Road.
Reimagining Ridge, yes.
So, and I'm sure a lot of that ties into now we have a new train station there. So does that change any of the conversation? What does it bring to the conversation?
Well, we're looking to embrace and have businesses there, but with the train and the Ridge Road, it's really a walk-in, and we're hoping that at some point there'll be development in the neighborhoods,
Sure.
particularly to the west of that station.
Sure.
It's older neighborhood and duplexes,
Yeah.
and it could potentially be changed into a different little format.
Sure, sure. So the Ridge Road project itself, I was meeting with a business client, actual business owner on Ridge Road this morning, right before I came, and they had said, "Oh, I heard, we're not going forward. We don't have that grant anymore." And I said, "Well, that's not true. So the council's working right now. So could you tell us a little bit
Well,
about
I can talk
that?"
about that. We are awarded a grant of $17.1 million,
Yeah.
and we are going through some modifications, which I understand other communities submitted an original plan, but then had to modify it based on whatever came up.
Sure.
And we're looking to keep Ridge Road 4 lanes, 2 in each way, with a center turn lane. And we're going to have to make some modifications to the width of the lanes. We're going to shrink them down 1 foot, and we're looking to enhance the sidewalks, the
Yeah.
vegetation, the trees, make it a lot more desirable,
Sure.
attractive,
Sure.
and it's, what is Ridge Road? About 1 mile and
Yeah, the
quarter.
area that we're focusing on, we're not going down to, I believe the original grant proposal could go all the way to Columbia, but really we're focusing on, that Holman to Harrison kind of zone.
Yeah, right, Holman to Harrison, the main focus, and then of course it'll be coming up to Calumet, and we're looking at some enhancements, what we can do there.
Sure.
We're looking to move the NIPSCO poles back with the wires
Yeah.
and have it more appealing.
Right, which I think will be great.
And a lot of the comments I heard, vast majority were very positive. There's questions about this or that and what are we doing, and obviously there are some. Not everyone agrees on anything.
Sure.
There were some that were looking to have the Ridge Road project still be 1 lane in each direction.
Right.
And dividers down the middle. And we're looking to have it as open and clear as possible.
Sure.
And there's emergency vehicles that come down.
Sure.
They're coming from Lansing, Calumet City, in town, Munster, and running down Ridge Road.
Sure.
And now that we have the train, we've got that section
Right, the train stops right there.
stops right there. We've got the gates, we've got lights. As you mentioned, it's a no horn zone,
Right.
quiet zone.
Right. Yeah, and we'll talk about that. So making Munster more walkable is, and this is not the town council saying, this is our plan. You went back to the engineers, right? The engineers said, this is how we can enhance the area while still keeping the lanes.
Yes, this engineering group, IEI, out of Indianapolis, they were here. We had a good crowd. We had 2 sessions,
Yeah.
from 2 o'clock to 4, and then from 6 o'clock to 8. We had a lot of folks. A lot of
Yeah.
folks came
Yeah.
and talked and stayed and had questions or comments, and there were some choices, some put your
Yeah,
dots.
we got the dots. Yeah,
What,
yeah.
what kind of street lights do you like? Or what kind of pots and signage
Yeah.
do you like?
Yeah. My notes about the lights, okay, and I said, we need speakers in the lights for the 4th of July parade, for things like Cruising the Ridge and these different things. You look at Lansing and downtown Highland, both of them have audio systems in their on their lampposts. So I think
Right.
that's something
Do they really?
we should look into, just for those things alone.
Anyway, the train's been coming. This train shuttles that's right behind us here goes back and forth from the Munster Dyer up to the Hammond Gateway.
Yeah.
And then at the Hammond Gateway, you transfer over, and then you have the trains going west into Chicago and east out to Michigan City, South Bend.
Right. And yesterday at the Chamber of Commerce lunch, we had the superintendent of the Indiana State Dunes, which is now a national park. It's no longer a lakeshore, and that the difference is tremendous for those that are involved in that community.
Okay.
And so it creates a lot of tourism to our area. And a lot of those people pass right by Munster, neighboring communities and everything. And now the train, I believe you can actually take from Munster, you can go to the gateway, and you could head out to some of those properties
Right,
along
the
the
Dunes,
shore.
Michigan City,
Yeah.
out to South Bend.
Yeah. So the focus has been Chicago, but we're in a sweet spot right here in
Right.
Munster. We have a vast array of things we can do for
Greater
entertainment.
opportunities, and it goes,
Yeah.
like I said, it goes all the way out to South Bend. One of the folks said that they had family that actually flew into the South Bend airport and caught the train, which is right there at the airport, and brought it here and took off at East Chicago. He picked them
Oh, wow.
up at East Chicago.
Wow.
So he didn't have to drive to South Bend to pick them.
Well, thank you for your time, Dave. You know, Munster, there's a lot going on all the time, more than people realize. And so we wanted to do this, not necessarily a calendar of events and reading down a list of what's coming and what happened, but I'd like to focus weekly, short videos like this with a special guest each time on what was something big that happened or upcoming. And obviously the train, the Ridge Road project fits that scope.
It certainly is.
And then looking forward, I don't know how involved you are with, I know this Thursday, I believe, the 16th at 7 o'clock, is that the Heart and Soul
Yes.
grant? Could you give any information on that?
Well, Chuck Gardner's more
Sure,
familiar
sure,
with
with
that,
the Civic
with the
Foundation,
Civic
right.
Foundation and that, I would not be able to do it justice.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll send your emails or calls to Chuck about this. I'm sure he'll love hearing that. But I spoke with Vanessa yesterday at the Chamber lunch. She's come on board for the Heart and Soul program here in Munster. And it's just another way that the town is looking for input, which I think is excellent.
Absolutely,
The more communication,
yes.
the better. So thank you for your time. There's a lot to look forward to.
Anthony, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
the invitation.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.